Hey, it's Barry.
And Dave.
And Jerry.
And Dan.
Hey, we're on another episode of Hooked on Headwaters. We're down here across the street from Dave's house in one of our favorite places to be, and the place you want to stay when you come into town. If you're coming from anywhere out of town, you want to check out Dave's house, and the information will be down below. Great big rooms, killer view on the river. This is where Dave does what, Dave? Dave, what do you do down here?
You want to do a pedal kayak adventure right here. We launch from right here. We can go fishing. We have an island excursion. There are several spoil islands here. Hey, you can have your own secluded spoil island. Spend a couple hours there, spend the day there. Be a great birthday gift or a great anniversary gift or some other type of gift. We can hook you up with balloons, some other creative surprises. So give me a shout.
That's right, definitely, without question. Yeah, restaurants. Well, we're going to give a free plug here. Go ahead, say it.
Crab Stop.
If you're staying here at David's house, Jerry recommends the Crab Stop. They're walking distance down the road, which makes this a really good place to stay because everything is in walking distance for really great restaurants. Everything's on the water, bars, you name it.
Yeah, it's really, really, if you're in this area, it really is the place to stay.
Yeah,
cool area.
And you can wash down your boat when you get back. You can hook up your batteries. You can get them plugged in so you can juice them up for the next day. So it really is a great, got everything you need. Family, or if you're just coming down with a buddy, either way, there you go. So that's where we're shooting from today. We're going to jump right into talking about last week a little bit as far as how the catches went, and then we're going to jump from there into change of patterns because we're changing seasons, and we're going to talk about something that's happening out on the lake that Dan wants to bring to your attention. It's going to play into what you're going to do fishing wise here. So let's jump to it right now.
I'm off to the camera.
All right, kick it in, Jerry. What do we got? What happened this last week, man? How did it go?
It went well.
Of course it did.
It went well.
Does it ever not?
Well, no, it usually goes well. Yeah, we caught a lot of fish. I think that 85% of the spawn's over. Yeah. But you're still seeing fish on the bed, and you're still catching. I think the smaller fish, the smaller females, are still loaded up. I think a lot of your big fish have already laid out, but. Yeah, man, we had clients, I think 4 days this week. We caught fish all 4 days. I fished one day with Dan, him, and a guy named Tony. 3 guys. There was 3 of us, 6 people, 2 per boat.
Man,
that was a fun trip.
Super.
Yeah, that was over on Stick Marsh.
People, clients together. Man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I appreciate the opportunity. Yeah. They called me and asked me. Somebody had called out a guide, and they asked me if I, had an opener, and I said absolutely. So we went out to the Stick Marsh and.
Tore them up.
I think over 100 fish between the 3 boats for sure.
Oh yeah, we had 37, I think, and we had 2 over 7, and a bunch of 3 to 5 pound fish. Right.
Same
great
with,
day.
The biggest was 7.3. And then we, I had some other guides. I had a couple guides in Kenansville. I've still got 2 places in there that I'm really catching a lot of fish and a lot of quality fish. All of them are 5, 6, 7 pound fish. Right. Lost a couple in there yesterday in Kenansville that were big females, and I'm not sure they were laid out or not, but they were big fish. One of them actually came unbuttoned, and one of them actually it broke down next to the hook. I'm not sure if it had a fray in it or what, but
those things happen.
So we lost a fish there. Got some more trips coming up this week, but yeah, we've been active, still catching fish. We're getting ready now to go into the spring and early summer patterns. Okay. So. Right now, it's not even a bad thing that the fish are post-spawn because now these big, you got a fish that's 10 pounds when she's full of eggs. She's still 8.5, 8 pounds right now. Right. And all these post-spawn females are going to that deep water, and they're coming up in these shallows, and they're feeding. They're big time feeding right now. So I just seen a guy the other day on Headwaters site that said they had 100 fish a day. Whew. So the fish are definitely active. They're still feeding. They're still doing their thing. Get out there and catch them.
No doubt. All right, I'm going fishing with you.
Anytime.
All right, buddy.
What about me?
I got to hear your story. I don't know how you did.
Oh my God!
Let's see what you did this week.
He didn't say he caught 100 fish.
I ain't caught no fish in a long time.
I don't know when the last fish I caught. Other people are catching them, but that's cool.
I can't
that's
get
cool.
a day off where I can fish.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing, though.
Sound familiar, Dave?
Yeah, that's cool.
What boat? Fish? What fish?
So as Jerry is saying, we had the Stick Marsh trip last week. Stick Marsh has been good, which is right to the west side of Headwaters. Had a great day. with Katie and Steve. She caught some nice fish. He caught some nice fish too. Can't go through all the names because I can't remember them all. Then back over at Headwaters had 2 brothers. One lives in Sanford, another came down from Indiana, and caught a couple of big fish there, 8+ pounder. So some of my deep stuff that I've been catching them on, I'm not really catching them the last couple days.
Okay.
However, and that was on shiners too. I mean, those guys caught them good on shiners. I know there's still guys catching them on shiners. Just the stuff I've been fishing's been a little bit off. But I've had a really good topwater bite the last 2 days. 3 days ago, the artificial wasn't on, but the shiners were going off. Okay. But the last 2 days in the morning, yesterday.
What time?
Yesterday we had a topwater bite till 11 o'clock.
Nice.
Yes, and that's rare.
Right.
But you know, we had a lot of overcast skies, so we had a lot of cloud cover. So that, I think that prolongs a bit. Yeah, walking baits, prop baits like devil's horse, you know, any kind of walking bait, that's what we're catching them on. Something I have been noticing, guys, is the grass is growing exponentially. I've noticed in a week's time, the areas I've been fishing, the grass went from this far below the surface to about this far.
Okay.
And that hydrilla grows extraordinarily fast. So there's a lot of the lake places I've been fishing that I may not be able to fish for much longer. So I'm figuring I got about another week, and that might just kind of
top out,
fade away. It'll get too aggravating to get in there. Talking about the spawn, like Jerry's saying, there are some fish still spawning. Today, I actually saw fish on beds. They were all bucks except for one, and we caught that one on a shiner. That one's about, I think it was 413, almost 5 pounder.
But she's still loaded.
Yeah, and last week and the week before, I was noticing a lot of females we were catching had no roe. Right. They had spawned out, but now some of them fish I'm catching, they have roe. So it's either these fish are now pulling up, that it's kind of late bloomers, so to speak, or I talked to a fisheries biologist a while back. Sometimes they'll spawn more than once in a season.
2 cycles in a season, yes.
Yeah, so those fish could possibly spawn a second time. So not all of them, but some of them may do that.
I remember last year that was kind of the pattern. I know we had a bunch of them spawned out, but then it started to come back again for a little while. We were seeing that. So.
Yeah, we're catching a few on swimming worms too. It's kind of the same stuff I've been doing for a while. I don't know if I'm sure they're doing other things other places, but where I'm fishing, I've had a good topwater bite.
Back on the topwater real quick, when you're talking about that, are you targeting open water? Are you targeting flats? Are you targeting what type of area are you kind of targeting when you're throwing those topwater spook type baits or devil's horse?
Some of the stuff that I'm doing is like I was doing earlier on, January, February. I'm fishing areas that has hydrilla, but it's got pockets in the hydrilla, and those pockets, in my opinion, they isolate the fish. Those fish, if he's completely bound up in the grass, he can't see anywhere.
Right.
But if he's on the edge of that pocket, that's his little domain there. Somebody comes through his pocket, they can bust him up.
Just like a spider web.
Yep.
As soon as that thing gets in one area, he can see from where he's at. He just
that's his kill zone.
Right back in there.
Good analogy. Yeah, right.
So that's the main areas I've been fishing. Anywhere there's bottom contours, I'm still fishing in areas where there's shallower water, where I'm noticing a lot of beds. Even though you see a lot of tilapia beds, those bass are mixed in amongst them, and those bass will. If you saw a bed there a couple weeks ago and those fish are spawned out, those bass, from what my understanding, they'll share beds. If there's a bed, why go make a new one?
That's right.
So
somebody else's.
Yeah, I'm fishing areas where fish are still spawning, and you folks got to get on a bow fishing trip. The tilapia are out of control. I've been seeing
they're what?
Out of control. There is so much tilapia out there. We had many opportunities. If we were bow fishing today, we would have had many opportunities. The water's clear, sun bright, little bit of breeze. You can see those fish.
Like torpedoes coming through there.
Yeah.
They're just
big
lurking.
fish.
They just lurk. And they're like, oh, look at that bass. And I'm like, that's not a bass. That's a 10-pound tilapia.
Yeah, big tilapia.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yep.
They are, and they are a blast. Dave and I were out with somebody last week before last. Yeah, it was like that. We were in different place. We were at Three Forks.
Oh, yep.
Good.
Bunch up there too.
Lord.
We'll show pictures of that one.
Yeah, everywhere. Just everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of tilapia.
Yep.
That could be a fun time, and you don't have to go out early. You don't have to be there at 7. You don't want to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. You want to get there when the sun's up, So for you guys or gals that don't like to get up early but want to have an adventure, that would be cool. I mean, and you like to eat fish, you can, if you're a good shot, you can get more than you want to eat.
And we got the recipe from our friend Doug. Man, that's good. Well, here's the deal. I'll tell you this real quick. I had the hardest time liking tilapia. There's something about it, I don't know, it was always just kind of off, right? And that is for some people. Until I got the recipe from Doug. And once we cooked that up, my whole family were sitting around the table. I'm not even gonna tell you what the recipe is. If you want it, you gotta ask for it down in the comments below. Say, send me the tilapia recipe.
Catch and cook coming up in a few weeks.
That's what we ought to do, yeah.
So after everybody's waiting in great anticipation to see what my reaction is gonna be to this tilapia. And I'm telling you, first bite, I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Second bite, I'm like, I'm in. Now we are, nope, we are solid.
Like, nope.
Best ever, I'm telling you. Blow your mind good, I'm telling you. Unbelievable.
You gonna make me go shoot me a tilapia and bring it to you.
So hey, and Doug, if you're catching this, thank you, buddy, because I love tilapia now. The only way I'll eat them. So, where we at? I got all.
You're thinking about food.
I am. Okay, so we're gonna jump back over and go ahead and talk about this transition period. We're leaving one season, kind of coming into another. What are you expecting?
Well, what I'm finding right now is I'm actually back. We had such good success with places in November and December that it's hard for you when you're out there not to go to them places.
That's true.
So you're just like, oh, we caught an 8 and a 10 and 11, 14 and an 11, and you know, why aren't these fish here right now? I have found that these fish are back in those areas now. The places that I was catching them off these canals, right back up on the flats, just a little ledge, 6 foot, 7 foot deep, off of a 2 foot flat. I have found that these fish are back in those areas now, and we are just catching them. I mean, we are really catching them. I think what's going to happen in the near future is, as it gets warmer and this water temperature gets warmer, these fish are going to spend, I would think, the majority of their day in deeper water. But I believe if you are on the water when the sun comes up, until about 9:30 in the morning, these fish will come out of that deep water and they'll come up in these flats and they'll feed. Same thing is going to be in the evening time. From about right now until dark, these fish will transition up out of that deep water and they'll get up in these flats and they'll feed. As it gets cooler, it gets shadier, and you're going to fall into that pattern. And then you should be able to catch them on shiners. You should be able to catch them on buzz baits, top water plugs, rattle traps. I mean, just about. Once you get into that spring mode, I mean, you should be able to catch them on just about anything. But that's where I see this headed right now. We still got some fish that aren't bedded out, like Dan said.
Right.
You got some that may have already spawned once and they may spawn again. But I think the majority of the fish right now are starting to move into their springtime and their early summertime haunts.
Yeah, we don't change with the season like they do. We come up empty-handed, and I see that as a recurring theme sometimes. People are like, man, I caught him here, I don't know what's going on. This lake sinks, you know, it's no good anymore, it's been overfished. No, the fish moved. Stop fishing the same hole that you think they were in, that you caught them in. Go find them, they're still there.
The great thing about Headwaters is you have this deep water 100 feet away, 50 feet away, you've got shallow water. So it's not like they've got to travel a quarter of a mile or something like that to get into, you know, feeding areas. I mean, they can just move 100 feet across a flat into the deep, right out of the deep, right back into the flat, into those hydrilla pockets, and I think that's where they're going to spend the majority of March and April and on up into May and June.
Yeah. Dan, you second that?
Yes.
By the way, I want to fish with you too.
Yeah, right. Forget it now.
I want to fish with him, honestly.
Well, yes, I do agree, but there's the little caveat about Headwaters is there's a lot of deep water. And I'm not talking about just those pits. Like over in the maze, one side or the other of those cypress trees, you're going to have 7 to 12 foot of water. So that fish can be in 3 foot and literally swim that far, 3, 4 feet, and he's in 12 foot of water. So a lot of these a lot of these fish.
Trying to get to the lake before
Yeah, he's trying to get to the boat ramp. No, he left to the crab stop. So, everybody's talking about food. I mean, come on. So, yeah, these fish, they don't have to go far to get in deep water. So keep that in the back of your mind, guys. I've got some photos. I think they might have been on a previous video. I don't know if you posted them. Guys, they stood on my boat. That's my yellowfin. Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry. You'll have to cut that out. I got distracted by a very nice boat.
Holy smoke, look at that.
Yeah, I got to do a lot more guide trips before one of them dudes right there. No, so the fish don't have to move far. In some previous videos, I believe Dave might have posted some of the, I've got a photo that one of the fisheries biologists gave to me before that was completely flooded. And there are areas south of the flagpole, all the way down to where, what we call the structure, where it narrows to go down to Egan. There's areas, all of that area, it looks like the outside of a golf ball from an airplane.
That's exactly right.
There's holes, they'll be about the size of a pickup truck. You'll go a little ways, it'll be 7 foot, and then it'll come up, it'll be 3 to 4. Yep. You go a little ways, it'll be 8 or 9 foot, and then come right back up. So there's a lot of deep water. So think about that when you're in your lure selection. If you're in search mode, you're just getting down, you're getting out fishing, throw some baits to cover some water, but and have your bottom machine on so you can see some of this stuff. So always know there's almost always deep water nearby, or deeper water. Now the northern portion, north of the east-west canal, there is deep water up there, but it's in the form of canals and ditches. So those ditch runs and canals, there is deep water, so you can focus on that. There is fish in the open flats, but they're just harder to find because it's harder to isolate fish over, 4,000 or 5,000 acres.
And as that hydraulic comes up, that'll be pretty defined where those deep areas
yeah,
are.
that'll be defined, and a lot of that stuff, you won't even be able to drift anymore. In another couple months, once we get into summer, it'll be topped out. Yep. And then your north end fishing, you're going to fish intersections, you're going to fish ditches and things like that.
Run through the flats, and that'll be it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
That's about all I got, brother.
Anything else?
I think that covers it, man.
Good. Crap stop. Here we come.
You're buying.
I'm buying. Hey, we started out today's video by talking about David's House Inn. That's where we're filming up from today. We're going to be filming out at Blue Cypress Lakeside Cabins here coming up this next week, I believe, or the next week. Yep, so you're going to be able to check those out. Beautiful view. We're going to probably show you a bit of the water, show you the cabin, show you the view that you get when you stay out there. So definitely check those guys out. It's a great place to stay. And you get to go, I mean, you got your boat there. You've got just an incredible lake to just take your time and work yourself around and see what real old Florida looks like. Back, when the Indians were walking around, and it's just beautiful lake, beautiful places.
It's an original lake. It's completely different than any other lake around this area.
Yep. Yeah, anything we're fishing is completely different because we're fishing man-made reservoirs. Yep. Blue Cypress is God-made, so it's still in pristine condition.
Absolutely, totally different. So definitely, and we also want to thank American Bait Works for sure. We've got some bait packs coming up for you guys. We're going to be linking up here soon. These are going to be the packs that you're going to want to go ahead and check out when you're coming down here to fish the lake. We picked out the best baits for each of the different situations for you to be able to fish. We'll have information on that coming up here very soon as well. So thanks as always for supporting our sponsors. Always check the description down below to get hold of Jerry, to get hold of Dan, to get hold of Dave, and to get hold of us for boat fishing, whatever it may be. Always check the description for important information. Comment below, thumbs up, like the channel, subscribe. We appreciate it. All right, Dave, why don't you wrap us up there?
All right. Well, thank you for watching this week. Join us again next week when we'll be filming from Blue Cypress Lakeside Cabins. And don't forget, I want a reminder about American Bait Works. If you go on their website and use our coupon code Headwaters15, you will get 15% off your purchase. That includes halo rods. I don't think you can find them cheaper anyplace else. And they include or throw in free shipping. So it's really a good deal. The rods I use, they're really well made, really well designed. So go check that out and save yourself a couple of bucks.
I'll say, and one more, if you have heard of bait fuel, motorcycle buy, if you've heard of bait fuel and you are interested in bait fuel, comment below, let us know that, hey, I'm interested in bait fuel. This new product coming out by American Bait Works. Word's traveling fast, so we need to get a count on how many people are interested of the people that are following us here. So make sure you comment below. I know
I want some.
I know, and he does too. And I'm getting hammered, so definitely comment below. Let us know so that we can know what to do from that information.
We don't have any just yet.
I know everybody thinks we do, but we don't yet.
We don't.
So hang in there. It's on the way. Absolutely a game changer without question. So comment below. I don't care, just put bait fuel. That's all you need to do. Let us know. We'll appreciate that, and we'll make it worth your while. Okay.
Okay.
You done?
I'm done.
Say goodbye,
That's
Gracie.
right.
Bye, buddy. Bye, everybody.
So long, everyone.
Bye, buddies. Bye, everybody.
See y'all.
See you guys.
Have a good week. See you next week.
You guys are crazy.